Hi everybody, I'm Marco from Active. When speaking about China, so many are saying you have no idea what China really is like. But why this what China really is like for some is the worst place to live and for others is the best one? How come there are such polarized views of this country? First of all, we need to point out we view China as a country with its own faults and merits, and we like to be honest about it because, well, we need to properly advise our customers about the advantages and disadvantages of working with China are. Our explanation is based on the history of China, and although we will be synthetic, and for this reason we cannot provide a complete explanation, we cannot avoid to start from around 40 years ago. Before then, China experienced the century of humiliation, a long period of continuous fights with foreign countries as well as civil wars, and the succession of three forms of central governments, Qing to Kuomintang to the current one, and a continuous change of local governments, especially between late Qing and 1948. In 1960s to 1970s, the management of society was still strongly government-led. In order to recover from the century of humiliation, a strong central government, historically speaking, seems to be the only way to do that in China, due to the experience of the past governments. But still, there was a strong difference between different areas, some more developed, especially on the coast, some seriously underdeveloped. The Cultural Revolution, which was thought by Mao Zedong to solve this issue, required to send young and educated people from more developed provinces to less developed provinces to lead them into the better conditions. With the end of this Cultural Revolution, Deng Xiaoping, the leader who followed Mao Zedong and had a different mindset than him, proposed a consistent procedure of reforming and opening up, which included in the reduction of government influence in business in order to restore the traditional attitude to business of Chinese people and promote improvement through the opportunity to make one's own life better by hard working. In short, Deng Xiaoping promoted a capitalistic-based method of doing business. Through his efforts and the ones of those who led the country after him, he managed to make China a steadily growing country without even one single year of recession until today. The transformation from a planned economy to a market-led economy was appreciated both in China and outside, which was what the country needed to improve the quality of life of the people. As a matter of fact, the planned economy managed to take care of the basic needs of the huge population of China. But when it came to innovation and development, it fell short of other countries, an issue that the Soviet Union knew as well. But why that happens? The historians and social analysts believe that, due to the thorough planning of the basic needs of the life of each citizen, what happens is that there is no interest for them to push forward and do more than what they are supposed to do, simply because they will get nothing for themselves and just have the rest of everybody else share their result of their extra efforts. Protectionism was then slowly reduced in specific fields, and the cooperation with other countries promoted more and more, so that Chinese could get to the pace of other nations and eventually start to become the leaders of specific markets. Of course, this reform was not meant to be a short-term thing or one without mistakes. Deng Xiaoping and the following leaders had to go back to check what they did wrong and at times even entirely undo their previous acts. Overall, thanks also to a flexible mentality on the side of the government and the mutual trust between the government and the citizens, the growth of China has been outstanding. While Deng Xiaoping's opening up changed a lot of things for the better, perhaps too much changed just in one short amount of time, to the point that some cannot believe China has transformed that much. The strong opposition between the democracies and the communists, which was the base of the Cold War, and the fact that the Chinese government was led by the Communist Party and aligned itself with countries such as North Korea and North Vietnam, made the information available about China in the Western propaganda generally negative and often outdated. Even now, many school books will present People's Republic of China's past, especially pre 1978, more than its present, without a clear chain of events which can make students understand how could a communist-led country with one of the most poor population worldwide become so powerful in such a short time. Furthermore, a consideration should be done. China, with its huge size in territory, population, and economy, has been for long the most developed country in history. Whether other great powers will agree or not to it, it does not matter, because it only makes sense for China to become again one of them, as it was in the past. Another example of an area in Asia with the potential to be a great power and with an extremely painful past due to the foreign invasions and internal strife is the Indian subcontinent. History teaches us that those who can profit of the status quo are the major powers, and they will do all they can to protect it, preventing smaller countries from taking their place or even part of their share of power on the planet. For this reason, it is important to know well who criticizes or strongly supports China, or any other country for that matter, and not only the material brought to support one or the other view. This will help you to distinguish the facts from the interpretation some may even unconsciously give. Alright, then for today this is all. But the China in your mind versus China today is a series that we split in three parts. Next time we are going to talk about how China's development has been managed and discuss the controversial points about its growth and conflict with specific countries in Asia and in the West. Last episode will be focused on the present and the future of China and its public image in the West. Thank you for watching, and we will appreciate any feedback. See you next time. Bye bye.